Righty,
Yeah, I think all the guys arrived at the gym tonight and thought, Warren's not there. It's
Where?
gonna be a nice chiller one. Yeah, at Fifth Element. But Warren gave me all the deets, all the things to do, and they were wrecked. They did 1 hour of solid rolling.
Listen, boy, you got to stop wrecking kids, eh?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't
What's
do
wrong
that
with you,
anymore.
bro?
I'm retired
You're retired.
from wrecking kids.
You and Gordon Ryan, eh?
No, I'm not retired from jiu-jitsu. Just wrecking kids.
Where's that Viper gone, bro?
You want the anaconda?
Put it on the table, bro. You need to add to our
I'm
little
not
setup
scared.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ryan Murgatroyd. It's not Warren. Hashtag not Warren. Look at this
hashtag
thing.
absolutely not Warren's
Yeah.
pipe.
This thing is fucking awesome, though.
Thank you. I actually got that legit got it from the Amazon jungle.
I'd expect nothing less. I was like,
Of course.
that has to have come from the Amazon jungle.
Yeah. It's not actually meant to be used as a recreational marijuana pipe, but that's what it's become.
What was it meant to be used for?
I think it's meant for DMT and all kinds of spooky shit. All
Fuck.
kinds of jungle medicine.
Imagine that, eh?
Yeah.
You arrive in the Amazon, they're like, cool, I'm going to smoke some chango or something, and
Yeah.
the first thing you see as you smoke is that fucking thing in your hands, dude.
They actually
Sounds
smoke.
like a recipe for
They
disaster.
smoke this combination of changa and it's got bufotenine, which is the frog poison in. They call it Vilka. Sometimes you got to sniff it.
Is
Sometimes
this,
you got
is
to
this
smoke
Cape
it.
Town? Or
No, this is in the Amazon, and I'll tell you some stories later. Anyway.
Sounds fucking fantastic, that. Jeepers. That is one hell of a pipe. Let me see if you can see that thing. Fantastic.
Yeah, we'll be taking orders at the BigAl
Yeah.
store.
They do
After-
come in
yeah.
MMA Republic branded.
Yeah, MMA Republic. Yeah,
Engravings.
we're going to sort out some like Peruvian trips from here to Peru.
Yeah.
We're going to set up some gangs.
There's a big crossover between MMA and plant medicine, you know?
Dude, it's massive.
It's fucking huge.
I wonder if South Africans are like really open up to that. I don't think.
I know a few fighters whose names I can't mention who are
Yeah.
who I'm trying to open up to. But yeah, I think it's a natural extension of that like warrior. If you're all into the warrior state of mind, the sort of philosophy
Yeah.
of martial arts, like Daniele Bolelli,
Yeah.
his book The Warrior's Path, and he talks about how the warrior must also explore his own consciousness and death
Sure.
and all. It's quite pretty deep opening to the podcast. Let's take it down a notch, but yeah, I think it's a natural extension. I think a lot of more dudes are getting into it. And that Carl Kingsbury dude,
Yeah.
he's got
Carl
a great
Kingsbury's
podcast.
a
He
good
does a
one,
lot
yeah.
of weird shit on there
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Like it.
I think a lot of overseas based fighters, especially, I don't know about local guys. I think local guys are maybe a little bit too scared
Yeah.
You never know
open
with
up.
drug-free sports here.
Yeah. We're living in the Stone
It's not
Age
even
here,
that,
like,
dude. It's
with-
not even about drug-free sports. I feel like guys are so worried locally about how they put. We were talking about how people like being marketable and how they portray themselves and stuff like that. Guys are so worried, like it's a way more conservative approach, like you were saying
I agree.
before we started. So I think guys are a little bit, I don't want to be this. The thing is for fighters are. Like I always say to people, if you're interested in physical activity and nutrition and stuff like that, and you want to find a guideline, follow fighters, because there's no shortcuts. If you take a guy like Don, shout out to the Magic Man. Don doesn't have an option to take shortcuts. He's got to put in the work. He's got to have the right nutrition. He's got to do the right recovery. He's got to his mental side of things has got to be spot on. So to become like a better human being, I think MMA fighters are always a great way or great place to start and a great example to follow, because I think in martial arts, in becoming a great martial artist, you have to be a great human being at the same time. You know what I mean? Well, barring the exception.
In the sort of like warrior spirit, Daniele Bolelli context, I believe so. Yeah, I still remember there's one just before. We won't talk about psychedelics the whole night, but before we segue, there's this interview on London Real. It's like 5 years old, where Dan Hardy was still active.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's talking about how I don't know which fight he was prepping for, but he like eats 5 grams of mushrooms and
Yeah.
goes into a dark room, and then as the sun coming up, he just eats a banana and runs the hills like in the morning. It was a powerful interview, man. That made me want to be a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dan Hardy. I was like, I think I could turn gay for this dude.
Well, wouldn't be ashamed if it was Dan Hardy.
Yeah, I am, man. There's worse options. Apparently he's coming back. Apparently.
Yeah, he is. That's the
Is
talk
he?
of the town.
Yeah. Fucking good analyst, dude.
He's exceptional.
You reckon he'll fight in the UFC again?
Yes. He's gone
He
back
reckons.
he's gone back into the testing pool quite some time ago.
Really?
Yeah. I overheard him talking about it at Abu Dhabi, in fact.
Dream opponent, welterweight.
He was calling out a couple of people, in fact, but like big names, and we were like, listen, Dan.
I don't know. He could come back
Yeah.
and get murked.
But also, the craziest thing about Dan Hardy is he he's been out of action for a little while. But as a welterweight, fuck, dude, he's probably gonna come back at lightweight. He's
Yeah.
for the way the game's gone, he's actually quite small for a welterweight, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's,
he got murked by Condit
Yeah.
in Saint Pierre and a couple other dudes. But who did he beat?
Yeah, Carlos Condit was that double left hook. And
Did he
dropped.
beat Lawler back in the day?
I think he did, in fact. Who was his last
Oh,
fight there?
Beat Dwayne
Yeah,
Ludwig.
Dwayne Ludwig,
Okay.
yeah. Chris Little, Anthony Johnson. That's quite crazy to think that he fought Anthony Johnson at welterweight.
That is fucking.
You'd have to pay
nuts.
me. I'd get gazillions of.
How?
Even
Someone
is
did that the other
physically
day.
possible?
They took a picture of Dan Hardy and Anthony Johnson now and say, just imagine that these two fought in the same weight class once upon a time, dude.
That's
What the
nuts.
fuck? Anthony Johnson's going to struggle to make heavyweight at the moment, bro.
He's also coming back.
He is, dude, at heavyweight.
You
So
really
that's
reckon?
what they're talking about, Anthony Johnson versus Francis Ngannou, dude.
That's not a good fight for him to
In
come back to.
France.
Don't do that.
I'd
Give
love
him-
to see it, though.
I'd love to see him fight some tune-up fight and then fight someone huge.
A
Like,
tune-up fight. How do
John-
you give
John Jones.
Anthony Rumble a tune-up fight? He's
Yeah,
gonna
give him
fucking-
Jones. Give him Jones at heavyweight first fight.
Where's the picture of this oak now? You.
Oh, dude, he's an absolute animal, bro.
Yeah, that's scary that he was a welterweight. There's a lot of dudes that were once welterweights. That was
you know what I love about Anthony? There was on Ben and Sharp's the Food Truck Diaries, and he was talking about being a bodybuilder. And he's like, when you're a bodybuilder, you have to take all of this stuff. So he's like, so you were taking some of that stuff. He was like, yeah, man, you got to. And you're like, fuck, dude. So now you've taken Anthony Johnson, let him go run around with some juice non-stop for a little while, and then come back.
Check, this is him getting out of the ocean after just being stung by 100 jellyfish. Obviously.
He just wrestled the great white to the death, bro. The fuck? Look at him, bro.
yeah, he's a big dude.
He's an animal. He's an absolute fucking animal.
That's crazy.
He's insane. But what I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, let's talk about people are sitting thinking, who's this strapping fella sitting next to BigAl? Just talk about your martial arts journey, like your connection to MMA in the local scene.
Okay, well, yeah. So I mean, obviously, I was a super overweight, nerdy kid. Never did anything physical. Always very much in my head. And I actually had an uncle who's a lifelong martial artist.
Okay.
And yeah, I was always really interested. Then when I was 18, I started training with Quinton Chong, Dragon Power, a little bit of Muay Thai for the boys. But
The gun runner.
always has been back and forth and on and off. And I would have, in a different life, would have loved to get really good. I know I'll never be really, really good, like compared to how good dudes are out there. But yeah, I just love it, man. I love the philosophy. I have so much respect for fighters. Just having I fought once in PFC, like at the lowest level of amateur K1, and just that experience is fucking terrifying. So intense. And I just have an insane amount of respect for the training and the philosophy of martial arts, and I really like to approach it like from a technician and a fan's standpoint. You know, I really enjoy that analysis, and that's also one of my criticisms. Just talking about the local thing is obviously sometimes you go to UFC and the guys are like fucking murder, fucking kill him.
It's so true.
I think it's just the fan base has just got to get a bit more cool. Yeah, but slowly but surely it is pulling in much more educated, cooler crowds. But yeah, for me, I'm just a mega fan, dude, on another level. Like every second that I'm not, I have such a demanding job and I'm always traveling. So when I'm not, if I'm in the bath, I've got a podcast on. I'm just a mega fan. Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
So obviously, like through Cape Town, you spend quite a bit of time. For those that don't know, you're in the music industry, DJing, producing full time. So I know the nightlife is relentless when it comes to finding time for martial arts.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
So what's that like, man? I mean, it's so interesting to hear how people come from. Like if you go to jiu-jitsu, you sit on the mats, like everybody's from just a completely different fucking world. They're all from opposite ends of the planet, and it's also crazy. So like what's it like now? Martial arts, still training nicely, or is it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, my rule is always have something that you want to do more than be in the club at 4 a.m. because obviously that can lead.
That's Rourke's motto.
There's nothing worse than some dude who can only talk about house music for his whole life, and that's the whole world. So I have a lot of other interests, and that it's normally the thing that gets me out the club at some reasonable time. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this since I was 17, so it's not like it's new to me or whatever. I'm pretty disciplined on the road, and I love the fucking training. I like my body to feel good. The nutrition's really important to me, and I'm into the whole optimization lifestyle thing. So, and obviously you got to be creative and to tour and have good shows and put good energy out. And so yeah, I think it's a whole lifestyle. I think a lot of people who are at the edge of their fields, I think if you look, the common factor at jiu-jitsu is a lot of those people are really good at their jobs.
Yeah,
you get those
that's
people
true.
that just they just want to learn how shit works. It's an interesting,
For sure, man.
always a cool crowd around
Yeah.
martial arts. That's
Yeah,
what I
it
really
is,
like.
it is cool. Like it's always like I find martial arts always like I've been to one or two other gyms and I've gone to train with other people all over the place, and it's always like you're a bit tentative when you get there. Like you don't know what you're gonna find, you know. Like are they gonna be like, who's this fucking oak walking in here or whatever, you know? But it's and like certain gyms will always preach like there's this whole meathead mentality out there, which is such a fucking lie, because it doesn't. I'm yet to go into a gym where people have been like off to you, or like everyone's like genuine. They'll come and like, how's it? I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, you know, if you need any help or you want to ask any questions, I'm your man. Hey, monster in the
I was
haste.
trying to do that quiet.
No, you're supposed to do it loud, bro.
I think there's a
It's
lot
not
more
shit.
women as well. A lot more
Yeah.
women doing self-defense.
Yeah.
A lot more girls in gyms.
I think self-defense-
especially in jiu-jitsu, it's
Yeah.
fucking awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
You see, there's some tricks
And
out
it's
there that'll.
and it's goddamn terrifying, bro. When like a blue belt really gets her hands on you, it's a terrifying experience. And guys have got to know, you know.
I think it starts as a self-defense, though.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't say no one. I think there are schools that are doing it. Like jiu-jitsu on a whole is so far removed from self-defense. You know what I mean? Like it's very much sports jiu-jitsu, combat jiu-jitsu. Self-defense is always there. I mean, obviously, fuck, if you're reasonably high level in jiu-jitsu, I think your self-defense in like terms of like street fights and shit is pretty sharp. But unless you're like drilling real life situations of self-defense,
What, like with weapons and shit?
yeah, I think with weapons, like
Bro,
to be honest,
can someone tell me if Krav Maga's bullshit or not? I don't know.
dude,
I
listen,
think the like
listen.
legit Krav Maga guys are like
Yeah.
legit.
No,
I
it's
think they
pretty
can kill
legit.
you,
So- okay.
but I think there's a lot. It's kind of like, I think there were a lot of people who managed to get away with being like fake.
As
Okay.
far as I know, bro, in South Africa, and I don't want to botch it because obviously Krav Maga has different brands. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's like let's take Gracie Jiu Jitsu for example. There's different brands of Gracie Jiu Jitsu. You know what I mean? Like there's the Gracie University in Fourways, for example, and then there's Gracie Baja. Two very different people. I think Krav Maga is the same. Look, I'm talking fucking right out of my ass. I might be talking.
Every bit of plant matter in here is completely legal.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's there's different factors. As far as I know, there's only one legitimate source in South Africa, which is Ryan Wolf in Rosebank, in that Primal gym. I think, as far as I understand, maybe it's just his brand, but it's like the most internationally accepted brand. He is the dude. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So beyond
Yeah.
that, I don't know what there
There
is.
was that. What was that TV show on National Geographic that
Yeah,
they did
dude.
with those two oaks
That's
used to
why I
try
don't
all
wanna
the
say it's a
martial
lie.
arts?
Yeah.
And he went and tried Krav Maga in Israel, and there was that chick that just beat the shit out of him.
One of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
dudes wasn't
Like,
one of those.
he
dudes,
wasn't listening, so she just clapped him on the back. of
I
the head.
think the dismantling of weapons, close range shit is pretty legit.
Yeah.
And there are some similarities. Like they've got Kimura grips and shit on the wrist. It's
yeah, definitely. But Krav Maga's got some.
definitely-
The thing is, like, it all depends on where and how you're getting taught and who's teaching. You know what I mean? Like that show you're talking about, Warren. I'm thinking about Warren. Rocky is one of the dudes in that show. At one point was that what's his name, Leduc, who's the Lethway champion at the moment.
Yes.
He was on there, but no, sorry, he wasn't on there. He was on that prison fight in Thailand.
Sorry,
what
I
are
don't
we
know why
watching?
This is loud. Damn. Sorry, carry on.
Bro, just adjust the volume. It should be the black with the red tip on the mixer. Those dudes, the one talking about where they went to Israel to train Krav Maga. Fuck, that was lethal. So they like two dudes get there and they're going to train Krav Maga. They got like 7 days, and at the end of the 7 days, they've got to survive, or they've got to go through like a test or something like
Yeah,
that.
like I think the at the end they like have a fight.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
the Dutch style kickboxing one, they had to have like a kickboxing fight.
Yeah. So anyway, so they go off. So the one dude goes to legit join the army, like the Israeli army, and the other dude goes off with this chick who's like, I think he's there for like 5 minutes, and she's like, yeah, and then you do this, and you throw an elbow, demonstrating, and full on just fucking flattens this dude with an elbow, and you can see his face. He's like, what the fuck just happened? You know what I'm saying? But and that's how the show goes. And like, I think for him, the dude that was with the lady instructor, his final exam, they kidnap him, throw him in a van, drive him to the woods, and like chuck him in the woods, and there's just oaks just coming at him from every angle in the woods. Oaks are coming with sticks. They're coming with like, obviously like fake knives, They're just attacking him. That's Mr. King calling.
Jesus Christ.
Is he calling?
Yeah, it's popping up on my phone.
That sounds quite intense.
Dude, it's... Oh, decline it. Say no.
Yeah, we the ones call people on this thing.
Don't call us, bro.
Answer
We'll
it.
call you.
It might have a little bit of a freak out
Please
for a few
don't
minutes.
be loud though.
You know what I'm thinking? Rocky as well. He's only going to see you.
Why? Where's the camera?
It's there. I haven't plugged it in.
Oh, you haven't plugged it in.
What's up? What's happening?
Nothing much, bro.
We
Just, trying to operate.
It's fine, look, don't worry about it. You just make... Can you see the arrow on your screen? You can look at Rock, or do you want to see us, boy?
Arrow on my screen.
It's up to you.
Just full screen it at the top.
I see Rock all the time, so
Yeah. Otherwise, we have
I don't want to
plug
see
the
your
camera
face
in.
with all your nice Ruka gear. I
Just
hate you.
double tap the screen, Rock. Can you hear us, boy? Are we loud enough?
yeah, 100%, bro.
Lekker, boy. What's happening, buddy? In California, you dick.
Yeah, it's pretty good, eh?
We got
It's,
Mr. Murgatroyd here next to me. I'm sorry, you can't see him, but
Hey,
But you
Ryan,
can
how
hear me,
you,
doggy.
boss?
Good and you, sir.
Yeah, good, bro.
Good, man.
Good to finally have you on the show.
Finally, we gotta make this thing a reg, dog. I like this chair. Feeling very comfortable here, dog.
You're gonna take my job.
No, I'd never
it
do
says RM on the back of his chair. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, nice boys. First you replaced me with Don, and now you replaced with Ryan.
We didn't replace you with Don.
Right,
Oh,
what's
we
your
did
dog?
when you were gone.
Warren King's getting
Yeah,
automated.
exactly.
Listen, bro, it's not our fault you're traveling the world.
I
and
had
living the dream.
that sick idea. I tried
I'm
to
a jet
propose it to
setter.
Warren. That you remember those like old Warren? Actually, I think Warren used to do them. There's those like DJ versus things.
Yeah. DJ battles.
Yeah. So
DJ
you do
battle.
that and a jiu-jitsu fight. So you have like 10 rounds.
Rock's talking about the one time I had like this like
Battle.
DJ battle with Roger Deluxe. That's what he's referring to.
Did you have a boxing match afterwards? I think that would have gone really badly for Roger.
I think I would have taken Roger.
Where,
Easy. Quick
oh,
sticks.
where was
Nice
it,
one.
bro? There used to be a place in Parkmore. I can't remember what it was called. They used to
Yeah.
have. I think it was like a small hip hop club, Sublime.
DJ battles aren't really a thing though in house music culture. Like, I mean, maybe sometimes.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's more of a hip hop thing.
Yeah, so I think they wanted to do it because Roger like scratches a lot while
yeah.
spinning,
Yeah.
and I used to like scratch a lot while spinning. So then they wanted to do it. I don't know. I just said yes.
I can't
Listen,
believe
boy,
Warren-
are you wearing a hooded leather jacket? More importantly, boy.
No, bro. So our kind friends at Ruka.
What a dick,
Um,
He had to wear it. He's like, what?
booked-
Boy, hang on.
booked us
Before
up
you
big
carry
time.
on, how many Ruka items are you wearing at this moment?
3 right
Yeah,
now.
Rock's very upset about this.
The sucks not happy.
He's not pleased.
So
Oh, man.
you're in where are you now? Huntington Beach, California. What's going down, dude?
Yeah, so we've just been training, getting Chris ready for next week. So everything relocates to Los Angeles on Tuesday, and then weigh-ins on Friday, fights on Saturday at the Forum in LA. So everything's been centered around Chris. So we're actually leaving in about 20 minutes to go train at her gym, and then from there we go into the Ruka gym, and then we'll come back this evening to train again with her.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah, it's
crazy,
quite a
man.
busy day,
He
and
says,
then we'll do that pretty much the whole week. The Oaks here love Don, so like they basically roped him into some other UFC guys' training camps.
As one
So
does.
yeah, and then they got Hunter Ewald. He just fought in Bellator. Hunter Kawhi
Yeah.
is what he's what people refer to him as. We're going to go train with him just now, as well as Jalen from the UFC. He's got a fight in like 2 weeks.
So let's
So,
get
yeah,
some
it's been
inside
like,
info, Doggy. Let's see how's Cyborg been on this camp.
She's been phenomenal. Hey, we had open workouts yesterday with all the guys came through like MMA Junkie and that to like film her like her open workout, and it went really well. She's quite like physically dominant, so I think it's going to be a good fight for her because this lady that she's fighting, Julia Budd, historically has been the bully in the fight.
Okay.
But I don't see her bullying Cyborg any day.
Cool.
So yeah, it's been really good. Training camp's gone well. Yeah, we still got a week left of all the good training, and then take it from there.
Dude, you know what I want to ask you? I've been thinking about it watching you guys out there, which is, and I mean, it's so cool for me. I don't know, maybe I'm more invested in it. I don't know what it is, but it's so crazy. I don't think people understand what's happening with Cyborg or what is going on. So she's basically run her entire camp from South Africa. She's lived here. How long was she here? 8 weeks, maybe more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
she
hearing
came, like,
reports of people seeing her at the grocery store.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking Cyborg at Spar, man.
If you look around, look around the like
Cyborg was here.
four ways area, you just check these stickers everywhere,
Yeah.
like on dustbins and stuff,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Okay. Well, now
Anyway,
they know where
sorry,
she's
we
staying.
interrupted
Thanks for
you,
that,
yeah?
bro. So
No,
So she's been here. She's been living in Johannesburg for like 8 to 12 weeks, whatever it was. She was here for super long over Christmas. She was here over New Year's. And a fully fledged South African team has trained her and now traveled with her. Bag of peanuts, Rourke, really. Traveled with her to California and is actually going to be cornering her. Like I don't think this has ever happened in the history of MMA South Africa.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
yeah. Well, the thing is that now that I've been to California, I can see why she's come out to Rich and had Rich do her camp. And that, I mean, Rich is like super knowledgeable, but we actually have a very solid team in South Africa, which doesn't really exist in California. We've been past a couple of the big name gyms, guys that have got UFC titles and that. And it's all like a lot of like individual guys training, a lot of like just pad work, and they'll bring one guy in to help them. Whereas you come out to like FFM, there's a whole host of guys prepping for fights all around the world. There's definitely someone that you can find on the mat that's got a look that matches your opponent.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel when I'm at Apex, it's like I not trained like I was training, but just fucking around a top team in Phuket. Apex is every bit as good. It feels like a proper camp. You can just see it. There's like 100 white belts, 100 blue belts, 100 purple belts. No, maybe not 100, but a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, that's the thing is that because we're not like in California, everyone's spoiled for option. You know, you can drive down the main road here in Huntington Beach, and you can go to King's MMA. You can go to Electric Jiu-Jitsu. You jump across one city to Costa Mesa. There's the Ruka Gym. You go back into town. There's Black House. You're so spoiled for choice here that everyone's quite like separated here.
Guys, did I just fuck that up? Is she training at Apex or Fight Fit?
Yeah, well,
it's all the same.
both. Yeah,
Okay.
Same, but
it's all the same affiliation.
Okay, cool.
So Boyd and Martin worked with her at Apex on her boxing, and then Rich worked on her ball wrestling, her like overall striking game, all her jiu-jitsu, and that at FFM. Okay. So yeah, it was a collaborative effort on that one.
Sick, dude.
Fantastic. 2 SA teams out there. It's quite crazy. It was like quite a surreal moment.
2 SA teams.
Yeah, well, Boyd and Martin and same people. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's all one team. It's all one big team.
2 SA gyms, bro.
So from being there now, do you reckon that at least I can't speak for all the gyms, but like, do you think that the South African teams have a chance, like, have a standing chance against any of these international guys? Like, obviously,
yeah, definitely, yeah. There's obviously pockets of like really phenomenal gyms and athletes here, but at an overall level, I think we definitely have like a lot of talent in South Africa, and we can definitely match most of the gyms here. The only difference comes in is that there's opportunity, you know. When you're in California, you're networking with, you know, if you hear Rich Child, the matchmaker for Bellator, is here, you get everyone knows him, you can network with him. It's like way easier to get opportunities out here. So that's why a lot of these guys get into the UFC, Bellator, LFA, because if you're on the West Coast, all the guys live here, everyone knows each other, so opportunities are plenty. Whereas South Africa, it's very difficult to get into contact with these guys, difficult to get exposure with these guys. It's also difficult to take like short notice fights to get your foot in the door, because I mean it's like a 24 hours worth of flying to get out here.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, it's just geographically we're like a little bit limited, but we definitely have the coaching and the skill set in South Africa to match these guys.
Sounds exactly like electronic music. Honestly.
Yeah, that's
Well, at least with electronic music, there's like a flourishing scene in Europe, which is only like 8 to 10 hours away.
That's true.
There's like nothing
You'd have
even
to be
in
in the
Europe for
States.
us to go to, you know? Like we
Yeah.
have to go the far side of Asia or the far side of America to get anything going.
that's
Crazy, dude. What's the prediction, Doggy, for the fight? I know nothing about this opponent. Is she like a Bellator champion?
Yeah, she's quite a dominant guy. Dominant guy. She's quite a
What?
dominant
Yeah,
fighter.
you
That's a cross-gender fight
yes,
as well.
yo, dude, we're gonna get some heat now, boy.
Cyborg.
But she's quite a dominant fighter. She's had like she fought in Invicta. She fought. She's undefeated in Bellator. But one of the biggest boxing outlets was at the media day yesterday. And he went around the room like doing predictions, and like pretty much everyone was like first round or second round KO or TKO. So
It's
For
also
Cyborg.
that's a pretty
For
fair
Cyborg.
yeah,
prediction.
for Sabo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
Cyborg.
it's crazy how quickly people forgot it. It's like after Nunes beat her, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like, I was surprised that
Well,
the
that-
UFC didn't fight harder to keep her on the roster, because it was like that one
the
loss.
problem is
and
that-
yeah.
The problem is that the UFC unfortunately don't like Chris, and if they don't like you, they're very happy to like feed you to people that can kind of like put a dent in your career.
Yeah.
So I think the UFC were potentially happy that, well, they were definitely happy that Nunes KO'd Cyborg, because it was their way of like basically getting her out of the organization. You know, like I don't think they respected Cyborg enough.
Yeah.
And you see it with a lot of fighters. You look at guys like RDA. I mean, he was a former champ, but it's clear that they don't favor RDA because they just keep feeding him to guys that really aren't the right fights for him and will eventually push him out of the organization. You know?
I can't
and
think
it's
of that
happened a
dude
lot in the
without
past.
thinking of Colby calling him Ralphie Dos Nachos. That's like
Oh,
that was
man.
like his best fucking chirp ever, bro.
Dude, funny you say RDA.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're in the build up for Connor and Cowboy, and they've been showing all of that where the interaction started with Cowboy and Conor McGregor, and they showed.
Yeah.
That, I never noticed it until now. Conor McGregor next to RDA, he like towers him. And RDA
Yeah.
is like a welterweight, but McGregor is towering him. Just to put in perspective,
Connor's
like
massive, man.
he's huge, dude.
How tall is Conor?
Yeah.
5'9", 6 foot.
Okay, 6 foot, eh?
Yeah, something like that.
It's actually crazy. There's so much happening at the moment. We obviously have Bellator next weekend, and we have the Conor Cowboy fight this weekend. And Vegas is about 4 hours from here. So like a lot of the guys that are going to Vegas this week were in California, and it was like a lot of hype around the Cowboy versus Conor fight here in California. Then yesterday at the Staples Center they had the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury face-off.
Yeah.
So the media was all at
Saw
that. They had Chris's open workout yesterday. Like it's just been like an absolute like storm of MMA coverage, and everywhere you go, it's just Conor McGregor's face. Billboards, posters, TV, you name it. It's like everywhere at the moment. It's like you can't live in America or live in California and not know that there's Conor versus Cowboy this weekend, and that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are throwing down.
Good time to announce your comeback.
It's crazy.
What did you say?
Good time to announce your comeback.
No, fuck off.
Oh, dude. It certainly looks like you guys are having one hell of a time. I'm definitely probably going to unfollow you before you get home, but don't take it personally.
Oh, you better unfollow me soon. I'm going to In-N-Out Burger like
you.
maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. And you got the legal weed, son. You better get well.
Yo, bro.
Sure,
It has been
sure,
mental here. Let me tell you that much, my man.
Amazonian pipe.
It has been mental.
Really?
We I won't mention who, but we went to this one shop, and they convinced me to buy all these edibles. And then we decided to go out. To
Don't you
Newport
hate it when
Beach.
don't you hate it when your mates do that? They're like, I'm gonna force you to buy these and have a good time, okay? You will buy
everyone's
these.
like, we all get a little bit of something, and then I decided I was told we should probably get the edibles, but I went and got like these white chocolate cookies and these gummies, like these little like jelly babies, and myself and a few other people ate like one whole cookie each, and it was like 25 milligrams of THC
Oh, that's
in
a
like
lot.
one cookie.
It's a big dose.
Oh fuck! It's a crazy amount, right? You normally get like 5 milligrams in a joint. So we got to Newport, and I was almost completely legless. I can remember being there, but I can't tell you what like specifically happened. I just remember eating like a burger. I was completely fucking.
How was
out of
that
it,
burger
bro.
though? It must have been a good burger.
Show him.
Bro,
Mr.
apparently the
Megatroid's
burger
pipe.
was dead shit, but it was fantastic.
You'll
to
have
me,
to see
bro.
it on there.
Yo,
This
Rourke
is
will
my
have to
prop.
take
Take
it.
it.
Oh, okay.
See what Ryan brought with him, bro.
I'll show you my prop. Dude, you know, as much as I'm a huge weed fan,
yo.
but let me tell you, I do not fuck with edibles often. So the one morning I was flying to Ibiza via Doha, and I had such bad back pain, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna time it because obviously you can never take weed. So I timed it. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of cannabis oil in this coconut face moisturizer bottle, and I'm gonna eat it all on the plane when I take off, and then I'll eat a little bit when I land in Doha, and I'll be like baked the whole time, just low level baked, super chilled. And then when I get on my flight, no back pain, land in Ibiza, happiness. That was the plan. I come back. So I get on this flight. I eat my first dose. It's like a full spoon. I go to sleep. I like sleep great. I wake up 5 a.m. in Doha. And then I've got this like bag of edibles still, like this edible THC oil concentrate and coconut oil. I'm like, fuck, I wasn't that baked last night, so I'm just going to eat 2 spoons now before I go into the airport because I really don't want back pain. Dude, I eat 2 spoons of edibles. I go in. It's 5 a.m. 8 a.m. after my breakfast, I have a coffee, and I literally go into like a psychedelic void in the middle of fucking Doha airport, like, tripping my fucking head off.
The drums of Peru come waiting through the ears.
Yeah,
The boom, boom,
exactly,
boom,
dude.
boom,
It was
boom,
so
boom,
deep. The lights, it's like fluorescent, inescapable fluorescent light in every room, dude. I was having an anxiety attack.
Oh,
My heart
man.
rate was like 200 BPM. I think I prayed. I hadn't prayed. I prayed that morning. I was like, Jesus, get me the fuck out of here, please. Don't let me get sentenced to death.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh,
Anyway.
man.
Oh man.
So I
That's
sympathize.
rough, bro.
I sympathize with you.
And Warren,
You know what was even worse is that like our schedule was pretty messed up that day, and I hadn't eaten the whole day, and we had trained twice, and I was like, I'm so fucking hungry, and then they had like it's like a Oreo, like covered in white chocolate, and
So you had 50 of them.
and I banged that thing like on an empty stomach. I banged that thing, and like earlier in the day, everyone had like one little gummy, which is like only 15 milligrams, but still like hectic, bro. But then like I think both of them kind of like dropped at the same time, and I was like, oh my fucking word!
So you actually had 40
I
milligrams.
don't even know.
Cookie
I was
and the gummy.
begging. I was begging, like in my head. I wasn't actually like verbalizing it. I was
Hang on,
begging
hang on.
everyone
You
to
hope
go
you
home.
weren't
Listen,
verbalizing it.
I thought you were going to say you were begging the weed to stop. I was like,
but
where's
bro,
this going?
Bro, it was so hectic. It was like, fuck, and then like, it was like wherever we went was just chaos because it was like a Saturday night or a Friday night. I can't remember which night it was. It was so hectic, bro. So I've been on a bit of a hiatus for like 2 or 3 days, but we'll get back into it this week. I've actually got some. I'll bring it back to South Africa somehow. I got some in the bag.
Well,
Don't announce your smuggling
hopefully
plans
the TSA
on
is
the
not
internet.
watching this.
Yeah.
Eh?
we've got some avid TSA.
Worst
listeners on
smuggler
this
in the
podcast.
world.
She's a
It was these bad boys. They
Oh,
were
Gummy bears.
terrible.
Good
you could
lord.
probably
And
get
they're
those
actually
too.
like coated in like a little bit like wheat dust.
Boy,
Like,
I'd hate to break it to you. Those gummy bears are 200 milligrams.
No, it's 200 milligrams in the packet. It's 15 milligrams per piece.
So buy one packet and eat the whole thing. See what happens, bro.
And the problem is like the gummies were indica and the cookie was sativa, so it was like an upper and a downer, and I was like just fucking nowhere.
Fantastic. Boy, what I want to ask you before you get out of here, I've been seeing you guys cruise around on Cyborg's fucking bus, dude.
What is
Oh,
that
it's
thing?
so epic,
yeah, what
bro.
the heck?
Rich, myself,
something
and
like
Ray had to go collect it on like the other side of the world. It was like a 2-hour drive. But then like when we got into it, it was so fucking cool, bro. It was they got like a bed in there and like proper like RV setup, and then obviously like wrapped and all the cyborg stuff. It's an epic van. We're trying to convince Ray to let us take it to Tijuana, Mexico this weekend. But I don't know.
Oh my good God! Can you imagine?
Oh man, it's good times out here in California.
Seems like it, eh, boy? Seems like it.
Yeah.
Hashtag not jelly.
I unfortunately need to love and leave you, Alex. I need to go meet the guys so that we can.
He's jealous of the Ruka gear. I'm jealous of the Tijuana hookers to come next weekend.
Well, apparently it's debaucherous out there. It's gonna be crazy.
I've heard. Yeah.
Listen, boy, shot for your time. Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
Nice one.
Party
Have a
hard.
good one.
Can I
Stay
have that
safe.
cap?
Thanks for
Can I
taking
have
my
that
job.
cap?
Dude,
Yeah, I'm an XL boy. In case anyone's wondering out there.
It's a
Oh,
nice
okay,
jacket. It's a
okay.
pity that it's going to go missing when
Yeah.
you get back.
Shot boy.
What did Rook say?
I said it's a
Nothing.
nice jacket. It's a pity it's going to go missing when it gets back.
Oh, I can't hear him. Doesn't matter.
End the call. Fuck
fine.
you.
Cheers.
Ciao.
See you guys.
Peace. What a
I
bastard.
hate it, man.
I do as well. A lot. Bro, I want to do.
Tijuana.
I want to ask you to find something before I forget.
Wait, first you
thing-
got to watch this thing.
Yeah, we got to preview this card.
Oh,
Oh, Mac Dojo Live.
Oh.
I love this shit, eh?
he's going to end him here.
Is this to
Oh, dead.
Oh, Grandmaster. Dead. Peace out, homie.
Oh,
What was he using? The Sixth Sense
oh
mental
it's
warfare.
It's Sensei Six Fingers. Oh, head's off. Gone.
Why do all of these dudes always like have that weird lean, bro?
Have you ever seen any of these videos where the sensei is like jacked? Never.
No.
They're always like this guy, just a little bit fat.
Yeah, that's true. They've always got dad bods.
But
They
what
do
is
have
that?
it.
Like, what is that like trying to do exactly?
Apparently, I heard CJA.
There's one with the
Academy-
gun. There's one with the gun, bro. I have to see that, bro.
Yeah, this is the Krav Maga we're looking for.
Is this the Instagram of fake martial arts?
Oh,
Lord.
done.
That's pretty impressive athleticism.
That's good, eh?
Always remember the judo chop to the. Whoa, my man.
Is this guy just hiding behind corners running?
I want to ask you. So, what is the point of this? Is that everyone needs one of these guys?
Firstly,
Or-
hold on. That's impressive. That's like the same mechanics as a flying armbar.
Yeah,
Someone actually
it-
just taught this like how to be legit.
But have you ever
That's the
just come
flying
across?
scissor grip, bro.
Have you ever just come across someone like just holding a gun out and then you've come up from behind?
Yeah, not often. They
That's what
normally
I'm
behind you.
trying to understand. So, are those guys saying that other people should train so you can do that for other people, or you should have one of those guys in your house or on your person at all time? I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Listen, please try and find. We were talking about edibles. Please try and find. There's a video of Joe Rogan talking about what happens when you eat edibles. It's fucking brilliant, dude.
That's how we get kicked off of this YouTube thing, huh?
No, don't worry. Joe Rogan will never kick you off, bro.
Okay.
And then I also want to ask you to please find some pictures of Cyborg's bus, and then let's pull up that card. That bus
The
is
Bellator card.
no,
the
UFC.
card. Okay.
Ooh, little embedded. Just say like Joe
Sure.
Rogan on edibles or something.
For
Do
sure.
you
we're
reckon
getting-
Connor's fucking 5'11", 6 foot tall? I
Well,
thought he
let's
was
have-
like
Yeah, we'll
5'.
find it now.
Okay,
We'll find it now.
that's real interesting.
I don't know if that him picking a fight at welterweight's a good idea. He was a small welterweight, 1.75.
Like on Embedded yesterday, he arrives at the PI and then he
Yeah.
hugs this bantamweight and he's the exact same size.
Yeah, dude, how big is that dude, bro?
Yeah, he's a big
He's like,
bantamweight.
yeah. What was his name? Fuck, man. Yeah, it's on embedded. So, dude, as he's standing at the entrance,
Yeah,
and he's like, even though that, he's a bantamweight. I was like, what?
yeah. It's
So
crazy.
175. Okay, so then he's definitely not 6 foot. He's way under 6 foot.
Yeah,
That's like 5'8" maybe.
yeah, that's 5'8".
Okay, so he's not as tall as I thought. Then RDA must be a fucking Mijo, bro.
Yeah, RDA is short.
But he was also I know in that press
5'8".
conference.
There you go.
No,
5'8".
it's 5'8".
Yeah, there we go. That press conference was the one where he dressed like El Chapo when he had El Chapo's shirt on, and
Yeah,
he was probably wearing some man high heels.
yeah, it's crazy. I would have still loved to have seen that fight.
RDA.
RDA Connor.
It's
fuck.
funny, bro. Like as a McGregor fan, when the RDA fight was happening, I was like, "Fucking RDA is such a dangerous opponent."
Yeah,
for
because
him,
he
you know
had just
what I mean?
he just fucking murked Cowboy in the first
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And Cowboy was on
Savage
like Tana
beating.
was on like a 10
Yeah.
fight win streak. Because I mean, he just got
savage beating.
yeah, it's crazy, eh?
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna get beaten at lightweight for a while,
Yeah,
and then he lost to Alvarez.
Eddie
he
Alvarez,
lost to
yeah.
Alvarez, yeah.
Eddie,
That's always
Eddie
super
smoked
sloppy.
him, dude. Yeah.
Super sloppy, messy performance.
Yeah, but see, that was Eddie Alvarez's thing, was dragging people into those kind of fights. He
But
was
we-
so good at that.
We were talking about it like there wasn't any like until Khabib, there wasn't any like extreme talents at that weight category for a while. Like all the guys who got to the championship, barring maybe RDA, had like a perfect rise to get there. Like if Alvarez had faced the guy who beat him 2 fights before, maybe he would have never been champion. Same for Conor. Like what if he had run into a Tony Ferguson before he ran into Eddie Alvarez? You know,
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
yeah,
Go to that video, son.
I want
this one.
No. This one, the rabbit hole one. He says, click on that one. Maybe it's this one.
Please don't be loud.
Stock
The
standard.
results strongly support that these beings are not closely related to.
we deep in the Gaia
any
conspiracy
Yeah.
theory.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
The Joe Rogan experience. What was the last psychedelic trip you had? Any?
I did mushrooms a couple months ago.
Yeah, how was that?
This is gonna be
Fucking
something else.
awesome.
Where'd you do them?
Did them with Ari on the show. We did them during a podcast.
Really?
Yeah,
And do you guys start tripping during the podcast?
yeah, we're having
I
fun.
remember that.
What is
actually.
it? What does
It's not
it
this
sound
one,
like?
bro.
It
Not
was
this one.
great. Podcast was
Are you
great.
sure it's not
we
that
didn't take
Dolphins
too
one?
much.
Yeah, it's
But
not about
we
the
took
Dolphins
enough.
ones. He
And-
it's like just Google it. He's describing the process of what happens when you eat edibles.
Joey
Yeah,
Diaz
this
has
one
got some
maybe.
funny stories as well.
But this
about
is like
anxiety attacks on
14 minutes.
edibles.
Okay, so you don't want this one.
So it was
Wait, just click it to see. Maybe it's like right at the beginning or something. Yeah, Joey Diaz is
So
fucking.
it's going. As I've gotten older, I can't even read my Twitter feed. Fuck these people. I don't read it. If I don't put my glasses on, I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Oh my
So
god,
it's
so
excellent.
good. But I'm not. I'm
No,
not,
this is
I'm not
gonna
saying
be a
people don't
fuck-up,
get
bro.
depressed and get anxious. I'm saying psychosis
Let
is
me
a
try
different
find it.
thing.
Yeah, quick.
Yes.
You find
Okay,
it there and pop yourself a Facebook message there.
Boy, you know how dangerous when we pop Facebook messages up on here. We start seeing feeds people don't want to see.
Yo.
It's a dangerous game.
By the way, what happened to you getting threatened on Facebook?
I was ignoring that. Thanks, boy. Until now. Oh, dude, I was just fucking. Cool story, bro. That was my response, really.
Oh, you're gonna take Journalist of the Year 2nd year in a row.
I didn't win Journalist of the Year last year. Simon Stevens won it.
What's this then?
Media Source of the Year.
You and I, we have matching trophies, eh?
We do, boy? Is yours fading?
Yes.
So is mine.
It says 208. Doesn't say 2018.
Yeah, actually, it was quite weird. Like they were kind of, UFC was gathering nominees, not votes. I should have probably described that a little bit better.
Okay. Nope, not McDonald's life.
Okay, oh boy, try find Cyborg some of those pictures of Cyborg's bus.
I can't believe Warren's making a comeback. It's crazy. There's
so,
this thing.
oh shit! Look at this thing. Why is it still so loud?
It's getting worse.
Okay, this is obviously media day. Follow at Warren King MMA. His name still says MMA, hey boy, so maybe that's a sign.
I told you.
Can't you just Google this bus, bro?
Let me have a look.
Don't leave this. We need this.
Okay.
Leave that record as well, because we're gonna need
Fuck,
to see that.
She's got a bus. She's got a fucking 8-man team.
In
Bitch,
the-
bitch is making money.
Apparently with Cyborg, like when it gets to fight week, there's just people just arrive, dude. There's just
Really?
people coming from all over, like family, her brother,
It's crazy.
this person.
Is she
that
still
person.
dating that dude that everyone said was such a dickhead when she left the UFC?
Yeah, what's his name?
My bad.
Ray.
Ray.
Please don't
Ray.
kill me, Ray. I
Yeah.
don't mean that at all. I'm sure you're
Yeah,
a very
I
nice
think-
person.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
repeating what I
Just
heard on
what
MMA
people
News.
said. That's just what they said. Yeah, Ray Alba. Yeah, they're still together. Yeah. I think
Okay.
he like manages her maybe or something like that. Yeah.
Like, was anyone else thinking she should have been a lesbian? No, I'm just kidding. Edit that out.
Go up to images, bro.
She's vicious though. So I think she could kill most men. Eh?
I'm sure she could. A lot of dudes.
Just watching, like,
Does it feel
Not
like
busted.
female fighters, like dudes hit this curve at like 36 and they say the testosterone drops off a bit and then the reaction time gets a bit slower, and like you see it in so many people between 36, 37, but maybe because the hormones are different in women, it's not applicable, right?
I don't
It
even know if
feels
it's
like-
that, bro.
well,
I just think
Holly Holm is closing in on 40.
She's closing on 40, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't like lose their snap in the same way as dudes, because I think in young men, a lot of that like snap is generated by this super high testosterone level.
Dude, like a very interesting thing about female athletes, especially this generation, like Holly Holm,
38 years old.
Cyborg, Ronda Rousey, all of this sort of like generation that we know, like a superstar generation. They all came up in a different time, and the key thing to remember with them is that they didn't have like an abundance of female fighters to train with, so they had to train with bigger, stronger men all the time. And if you ask a lot of them, that's, to be honest, like a lot of female fighting, especially the stand-up, well, not especially the stand-up, but especially the more technical areas, in my opinion, they can be technically superior to men because they've had to deal with weight and strength advantages their whole life. They've had to-
Joanna,
yeah.
her technique,
Dude,
is just
it's
fucking
off the
unbelievable.
charts, bro.
And in
It's
fact,
off the
just
charts.
before, like when Rose beat Joanna,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember watching the way she moved in that fight,
Dude,
and I was like,
it's-
"Holy
it's-
shit!"
It's
like,
another level.
it
It's
is another level. So smooth.
But that's where it comes from. It's because they've had to master the technique so much more because they haven't had like the reliance on strength to get them through certain points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Training for ladies to train with an abundance of men, they've had to figure that out.
But in terms of the age thing, like, what do you think the deal
Definitely,
is?
I think you're definitely onto something there, bro. Because like testosterone as a hormone has so much more to do with recovery as well.
Yeah.
So when you look at, I mean, back in the day when Oaks were on TRT, do you know how they used to get around TRT? So when TRT was legal, the guys would have like 3 training sessions, and right at the end of the third one, would go see the doctor, and they would take their blood, and they'd be like, "Well, you got no testosterone," because when you train, your testosterone level drops.
Yeah.
And then for it to recover, you need it to go back up, and that's part of your recovery process. Look, I'm no scientist. I might be botching this the fuck up.
Well, that
but
makes
that's
sense.
from what I understand. So that's how the guys were doing it back in the day. Bro, you're trying to find TRT Bellator.
Yeah.
Bellator. Dude, you missed a good picture down there, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was one dude, like his chest and his shoulders completely different.
Yeah,
eh?
dude, TRT was fucking...
Bring back TRT.
Yeah.
Well, he is back, bro. Have you seen what he looks like now? Where's he fighting? Bellator, eh?
I know.
Dude looks...
Whatever you do, just let him
fucking
take all the stuff.
huge,
He just got
dude.
smoked.
He's
Didn't?
huge.
Yeah.
But that's what the guys were doing. So obviously, like testosterone as a singular hormone in terms of any sort of high level sport is massively important. So if it's starting to drop off naturally, and you can't use TRT in a competitive setting,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to have
No, definitely. Like Cormier's like pushed it, and he's 30.
no, he's in his 40s
30.
now. I'm sure.
He just turned 40.
Yeah, I'm
he's
pretty
turning
sure
40
he just
this year.
turned 40.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
Check out Uberim down there, dude.
Yo.
What a monster.
Yeah. The fact that he's still fucking fighting, dude, so long later.
It's crazy, dude. Look at the difference, though. Fuck
Yeah, that's
me,
crazy.
bro. People if you want to ask me about steroids, bro, have a look for yourself.
Oh wait, let's Google Juicemol.
We're going down a big rabbit hole here, Rourke. Your favorite. Juzma Palhares.
See, there's
That
a
one,
photo.
next to
Yeah.
Craig Jones.
Wait.
Fuck, dude. There,
What's it?
yeah. Top left.
Top left.
Yeah, there. The next one. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking
Juicemol
about.
Palhares.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
Fuck me. Did
Hey.
Craig Jones beat him, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they were still talking about it before this happened. This sort of fight with Palhares looking like that, dude. If that gets hold of your ankle, fucking good luck, dude.
Yeah.
Good luck. The scary thing is there, bro. Even Ruzumar Palhares on the left was definitely on the juice, but he just got a better dietitian along the line or something.
He
I don't
was
know what
on
happened.
that. Who's the guy from The Andrew Smith protocol. I'm joking.
The
Andrew
William
Smith.
Oberholzer.
Shout out to William.
Yeah, shout out to just for reference. William is not on the juice. Nor we're saying just a joke we made. Listen, put up that card, motherfucker. Oh, this is Bellator. Julia Budd, Chris Harburg. Who else is on this card, bro?
This is a bit of a spazzy layout.
Yeah, dude. These
How
guys
the
do a lot
fuck
of
does
weird
Bellator
things.
make money?
Bro, they got some good deals, I think. Yeah.
They get all those, you know, like when you
Keep
go to
going.
Woolworths and you can buy those things that are just about to go off,
Yeah.
but they're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
They do that. They get all the fighters who are just like,
By the way, that's a fucking huge thing, doggy. 24-hour Woolworths, 40% off.
it's awesome.
It's a fucking
Love it.
huge thing. I
Checkers
didn't know
does it as
about
well.
this for years.
I buy those 12 rand Malwa puddings. You wouldn't believe how good they are.
Hashtag no keto, bro.
Stone and Paradise.
Click over. Let's see who else is on this. I'm guessing you got to click that arrow. Caldwell, Adam Burridge,
That's not that
They
exciting.
got some
Sergio
seriously.
Pettis.
But I heard Rory McDonald signed for PFL though.
Dude,
Yeah.
that dude needs to retire.
Oh yeah, Dylan Dennis. That's the other big fight.
He said he's going to own Bellator.
He says a lot of weird things.
His last fight wasn't bad. Yeah, when Rory McDonald got Super Jesus Freak, that's when he started fighting really badly. Just
Yeah,
coincidence,
yeah.
perhaps,
No,
but
no,
I'm
no,
not
it's-
sure.
No,
'cause
he actually spoke about that. But so he was saying like he's starting. He has a problem with damaging people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like inflicting physical damage. That's kind of what he was talking about. Which is not the first time we've heard about it. To be honest, like dudes
Yeah.
do go through that, I guess.
So this Juan Archelaus, I think this is for the
Yeah.
featherweight title
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
For the featherweight title. He's one of TJ's main training partners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Test that man.
What's
for
up
some
with
EPO.
TJ? He's still like 12 months away from
Yeah.
coming back.
January next year. Can't wait.
Yeah. Really?
Is it on your calendar, boy?
I'm a fan.
Yeah, Rourke's
I'm
Rourke is the TJ fan.
I'm a TJ fan. I think he's a fucking great
I
martial
forgive
artist.
him.
Yeah, I forgive him. You know, like we've said this a fucking gazillion times, but TJ is still he's the Roy All Star, bro. Because he's like, I got caught, I did it. Like I apologize.
Yeah.
You know, like these is like, oh, bro, the Taden supplement, and I'm like, dude, yeah, cool. We've seen
Except
this
you
before,
can't you
know what I
can't
mean?
exactly run from EPO.
No, you can't. But anyway, but he owned it. Bro.
It's not
You know
like
what I'm saying?
it's not like
that's
it's
the moral
not
of the
like
story.
those picograms. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, EPO.
Don's fucking picogram. I'm still laughing about that. Fucking kill me. Let's see the UFC card. This card's not amazing, if I'm honest. People are gonna ask me, how do you watch that Bellator card? Fuck, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
It's super tough.
Should we do predictions?
Yeah, but let's start at the bottom of the main
I
card.
believe so.
Okay, Anthony Pettis. This kid Diego Ferreira is from Fortis MMA, who is now JP Base's teammate. I watched this dude in Abu Dhabi. Super freak, dude.
Super freak jiu-jitsu guy, right?
Yeah, he was a jiu-jitsu guy, but he's
Not ranked, eh?
he's got heavy hands. It's a bit of a weird one for me, bro. It's almost like a gimme to keep Pettis in the mix for a big money fight if he wins. At the same time, gonna throw Diego Ferreira into like a ranked position if he gets past Pettis. So it's like a
Flip, I hope he doesn't.
big stakes for both guys, which is quite cool. Like when you look at Diego Ferreira if as like an outsider, you know what's going to happen with this card? I always said it was a con effect. Like I've been dealing with the con effect the whole day today already. About people talking about, oh bro, Cerrone's on a tear, he's going to fucking, I'm like, dude, Cerrone's lost 2 in a row. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing you're dealing with. They're going to look at this and like, Anthony Pettis, might have heard of him. Diego Ferreira, never heard of him. You know what I mean? So it's also like it's cool in that sense that the con effect's going to bring attention to Diego Ferreira. So he's got a lot riding on him, and he's not fucking young, dude. This dude's like 36.
I'm not seeing like this young killer that's going to come up and take
No,
out Pettis.
exactly.
Pettis
Yeah.
fucking slept Wonder Boy.
Yeah, dude.
He's got
Freak.
great hands. Like he's
Didn't he
a
drop
good
Ferguson?
fighter.
He dropped Ferguson.
Yeah,
hey?
he dropped Ferguson as well. He had a fucking war with Ferguson. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like probably Ferguson's toughest fight.
No,
Like,
definitely, dude.
so I think he's been on a streak. Was it the Diaz fight where Diaz just pressured the shit out of him and
yeah. He lost a decision. It was quite tight, if I remember.
yeah, it wasn't like it was just Diaz being Diaz. Okay, yeah, I'm picking Pettis for sure. I remember Diego Ferreira being a moderately interesting, although not
He's
very
good, dude.
particularly interesting
He's good.
fighter.
He's definitely good.
Okay.
It's going to be an interesting
Who
fight.
was his last fight? Diego
He
Ferreira.
he fought that in Abu Dhabi, bro. He fought
I remember that actually.
the Russian fella.
Islam Makhachev? No.
No,
not
not
him.
Islam. Just pull up his record, bro. It was a proper. The fact his opponent, I was actually sitting next to his manager, bro. It was horrible because the guy was definitely about to have a panic attack, and he had like this gift for him and stuff, and it was pretty funny. But he was so like stressed out, and he was like, "Fuck, you know, you were supposed to win this fight," and I'm like, dude,
It's not gonna help you now.
Taisimov, bro.
Taisimov.
Fucking good fight. And like I remember saying to him, like, dude, like don't feel bad. Like I understand that he's lost, but he's definitely left an impression. You know what I mean? It was such a good fight.
Yeah.
It was definitely up there for like fight of the night. It was a seriously good fight, and it was a razor thin. I thought being the Russian fight in Abu Dhabi that maybe it was gonna slide his way, kind of thing. You know?
Oh, he fought Poirier. He fought Benil Darush.
Yo, 7-2 is not a bad record, eh?
Yeah, and those are two very respectable losses.
Yeah, dude. He's the real deal. And Fortis MMA is, bro, it's the next mega camp, eh? They won all the awards last year. They were like coach of the year. Did he win coach of the year?
I think, I think he did. But that also had like some ridiculous record last year.
It was insane.
They had I know they had 4 losses, but it was something like 20
So you've got Ferreira, you've got Jeff Neal coming out of there, who's mental. He's on a tear as well. Uriah Hall. Fuck, we're gonna botch this.
Shout
I
out
choose
JP
to
Base.
ignore all these facts and go with the basic bitch interpretation of this. Anthony Pettis, I know him. He's gonna win this fight.
100%, bro.
Okay,
That's
I'm going
100%.
full on. I'm going basic bitch on Alala right now.
I'm going with Ryan. I'm not gonna pick this Diego guy.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go Diego Ferreira.
Okay.
I've seen something there
You're gonna go
Okay.
against the guy who jumped off of a cage and knocked someone out
twice.
with his leg
Well,
twice.
one with the leg, one with the punch. Well, he didn't come off the cage with Wonder Boy, but anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna just mix it up, boy. I'm
Okay.
gonna go Diego
That's
Ferreira.
Fair
I
enough.
liked what I saw in Abu Dhabi. I think
Warren's
he's
going
gonna
with
do the damn
Pettis.
thing. Okay.
I don't know what he's going with, but
We need to remember these because we've got to do the prediction cards, bro.
We will.
Hopefully,
I've got a good memory. I'll remember
hopefully
it.
Warren's got his laptop with him.
You can also, there's this crazy thing, we're recording this. You can also just go back and.
I could do that. Claudia Gadeja, Alexa Grossa. Oh, it's also a couple of 8-team down pieces happening.
I'm going with the Brazilian.
Claudia Gadeja. Gadeja.
Can
Wait,
we
didn't
see Alexa Grasso's record quickly?
Claudia Gadeja is definitely going to mollywop her.
Do you think so?
It's going to be a strength deficit like you've never seen. Alexa Grosso is very good. I just think she's going to have a problem with the strength.
Yeah.
Good records, dude.
Okay.
Alexa Grosso just looks like she should be teaching like standard 1 or something.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, she's a killer though, eh?
Oh, it's coming for loss.
Yeah, against
Okay, she
an
fought
aging
Tatiana.
Carla Esparza. Beat Carolina, bro. That's a big win, eh? Lost to Tatiana Suarez like everybody else. No shame in that. Lost to Felicia
Okay, she
Rey.
beat Carolina's a big win. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
And Ronda Marcos is a good win, bro.
You're-
Look, she's no slouch, but I just think strength-wise, she's gonna have a big problem with Claudia, bro.
Okay, fair enough. I feel underqualified to make a real prediction here.
Take a flyer, bro.
I'm gonna go for the slightly hotter one, which would be Alexa.
I like it. I like it.
You see that? Yeah.
I like it.
I was gonna be honest.
Rocky?
I'm going with this Hutsamal Horace looking chick.
Poor MMA journalism going on here. absolute stonkers.
Ooh, I like this fight, bro. I like this
Okay.
fight a lot. Do you guys know Maurice Green? He was on the more recent series of The Fighter.
The more recent
Yeah, is that a word?
Maurice.
Yeah.
More recent.
It was planned. The more recent.
I can't tell whether he's looking at you or if he's
That's
looking
a
at
lot
me. though.
funnier
He's
to
looking
me
at
'cause
all of
I'm
us,
high
bro.
as fuck. Yeah. Okay.
The Mauricism. Bro, so he was on the show like they had heavyweights and then Tatiana Suarez was on the same show. They had I think it was heavyweights and featherweight girls or flyweight girls or whatever it was. That's definitely not
That's
the person
definitely
you're
not
looking
him.
for, bro. Dude, it was so funny, and he rocked up there with like he's like 9 foot 110, fucking huge dude, and he had like
2 meters.
he's
Jesus
he's
Christ.
basically Bucky Spuerto, bro. Literally. He had like a boop. He was unfit. I was just like, there's no way this dude's going to get murked. And somehow just was beating the snot out of people. He hits so fucking hard. He's one of those dudes. He's just it's just naturally all there. And he's an absolute. I'm not sure he's 100% all there. Open that picture, Rook. Go
I'm
back.
sure you're 100% all there. Sure.
I don't think he's 100% all there. The second one from that side. Yeah, that one.
This one.
Yeah, dude. Look at this dude, bro.
Well, he
He-
can
if you
look at
gave-
both his opponent and his opponent's corner at the same time. Without
Stop
being
it
mean.
now. Stop it now.
It's
If
not
you
nice.
gave the
That's
Grinch,
not nice, I'm
if
sorry.
you stretched out the Grinch and gave him a fuckload of steroids, maybe what he'd look like.
I see. How's that beard?
Bro, it's majestic.
He looks like one of those dudes that sits in a cafe on Long Street. You know what I mean? It's like a
At the purple turtle, eh?
yeah.
boy?
So he's like, hey man, how much weed do you want to buy? Until you see his stacked frame.
He's a very scary individual.
Yeah, he does look scary. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be great fights, but
Just so you guys know, I've spoken a lot about Maurice Green, but I'm actually going with Olenek on this
are
one.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
It's kind of like the UFC just spent all their money on Conor and just couldn't afford
That's
to put
100% what
it
happened.
decent on the fucking
That's
main
exact-
card.
But
Does
these
this
are-
Oak's record say 57-13?
Jesus Christ.
He's Russian, boy. It's what they do. Alexei Olenek is a monster, dude. He's an absolute
Holy
monster.
smokes.
Go to his record. Okay.
He doesn't
apologize,
look
he's
like
not-
a young tiger.
He's the boa constrictor.
Yeah. It's the Ezekiel fella, bro.
Okay.
57-13.
Go to his record
6'2" though. He's tiny.
for heavyweight. Yeah.
Ooh,
He beat Travis Brown.
See?
Hey,
Do you remember the Ezekiel choke from bottom?
Okay, I
You
remember.
know what I'm
Yes,
talking
I
about?
remember
Yeah,
that.
that's
I
him.
remember that.
He's got 2 of them, I think.
Beat Walt Harris. Okay, that's a good record.
Yeah, he's got 2 of those Ezekiel chokes.
Okay, so based off this information, I choose Alexei Olenek
Yeah,
as
I'll
well.
go with him.
Bro,
I
the
was
Soak's
really
got like
confident
the Soak. I
with
think he holds the record for the most Ezekiel chokes in MMA, like in his entire record. There's
Check
a
that.
shit ton of them. bro.
Ezekiel choke, Ezekiel choke, Ezekiel choke, Ezekiel.
Okay. Cool.
I'm
Super
guessing
high
like-
level jiu-jitsu motherfucker.
So, coach, what should I look out for while versing this guy?
The Ezekiel. and
Maybe we should
nothing
train
else.
Ezekiel choke defenses.
Bro, he caught that. I think it was that Albini. Like he had Albini in his guard, bro, and choked him out.
This Oak was fighting
Ezekiel.
when,
Wow.
like, I was like less than 1 year old. Check this first fight, 1996.
Yeah,
He's not a young buck.
Homeboy's got some miles on his skeletal system, so
Been around the block, boy.
could be possible that the
You know.
giant 7-foot man could.
I think
Absolutely
he's
save
in
him.
trouble.
But check all round
Yeah.
one. So if you
I'm
look
actually
at
going
his
to change my prediction. I'm going with Maurice. All facts considered. This
45
dude, yeah.
submission
And
wins.
he's 42 years old. Yeah, no, I'm going
what's
with
the
that.
what's the percentage rate? 78% submissions.
79.
It's hard to submit a 7-foot fucking monster, though.
Well, what is Green's losses? I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so I've gone with Alexei Olenek. You've gone
Okay.
with Maurice Green. Rourke's going,
Screw it. I'll go with Maurice Green.
and Warren's going with.
Alexi.
I like it.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, this is a interesting one.
I'm a huge Holly Holm fan. I hope she makes a comeback in this fight.
Me too. Yo.
I think, as we were saying, it's different. Like she's had a few losses, but she hasn't had that many wars.
Yeah.
But I think she's got another run in her.
I think stylistically this fight is super interesting because Raquel Pennington is very much like on your mouthpiece, coming forward, tough as fuck. I think technically she's not on the same level as Holly Holm.
Yeah,
I think Holly's got so many ways to win a fight, to be honest.
I love that front leg switch kick, that
dude.
question mark kick. That was
Thing's a beast there.
her head kicks off so good.
The only criticism I've got of Holly Holm is that I don't feel like she's adopted or adapted as she's gone on in her martial arts career. I think we know what to expect from her. People know to watch for that question mark kick. They know the front side kick is gonna like keep her in a distance. If you can negate that and get past it, you can put in problems. You know what I mean?
She doesn't stand in the pocket and box anymore.
No,
weird.
it's not really her style. She likes to keep that distance.
Okay.
Let's
So
have a look,
Raquel
bro.
Pennington is married to Tisha Torres, right?
Yes.
They're life partners.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They're in different weight categories, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say that could be the most
That could be the most
mental
awkward.
title fight you've ever seen.
It's like that movie Warrior.
Yeah.
With
The dude has
lesbians.
to fight his brother.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, dad. I'm gonna beat him up.
Sure.
Okay. So who's everyone going with? Wasn't she part of the 4 Horsemen or something? Horsewoman? There was that Ronda Rousey club that they had where it was like...
Very possible, boy. Very possible. Why don't you Google that?
I'm gonna go with Holly Holm for sure.
I'm gonna go with Holly Holm.
as a fan, and
Warren's choosing Raquel.
Yeah, Warren's
Okay.
choosing Raquel.
How old's Raquel? Well, that's what doesn't matter.
She's also getting a little bit
I think
on
she's quite old.
She's been around a long time.
Okay.
Age? You're
31.
31. Okay,
Not
not
that
too
old.
bad. Not too bad. And then the big one.
That's 135, eh? That's 135.
Yeah.
Bantamweight, yeah.
So what's the deal? So Amanda is currently champ.
Yeah.
35,
Bantamweight
45.
featherweight.
She's relinquishing.
Is she relinquishing this division?
Yeah, I think
35.
she might be giving up the bantamweight title. I'm not too sure.
I think she's giving up 45 because there's who's challenging her at 45. There's only Cyborg in that division. I
Yeah,
think she's coming
there's not
back down
much
to
left.
35.
She just fought Durandamy, didn't she?
At 45.
At 45.
Yeah.
Okay, so she just solidified her title at 45. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not actually 100% sure what she's doing, but
who's the number one contender at 35? Shevchenko.
no.
Fuck, this is poor MMA journalism.
Yeah,
we gotta fucking. we gotta pull up
Shevchenko's
Google
gone
here.
down.
Number one
She's
waffling.
gone down.
Let's have a
Hashtag
look, yeah.
waffle.
This is just for that guy who just told us he doesn't like waffling. This is what you get. Where's this ranking?
Keep going, bro.
Let's just quickly
Here we go.
figure
Here we
this
go.
out.
Here we go.
Here we go. Wait.
So that's at bantamweight. So at bantamweight, who they got there? Aspen Ladd.
Wait, did she fight Jermaine Durandamy at bantamweight or at featherweight?
Okay, it's at bantamweight.
No. Fuck.
Bantamweight's 135. Right?
There's no. You're right though. Ryan's right though. There's no ranking for featherweight. It's just her.
I think the women's featherweight division is done because they
Okay.
created it for Cyborg.
Yeah, for Cyborg. Then
Yeah.
she went up Merc Cyborg. Now there's no one.
Yeah. Now it's done. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
so
it's done.
Shevchenko's been competing at bantamweight. Everyone's at bantamweight.
No. Shevchenko's down a weight class. She's
Okay,
at
she's
flyweight.
125.
Yeah, she's at flyweight.
Oh yeah, I heard that they were doing Shevchenko versus Nunes.
Okay, I understand.
3.
Very possible.
Yes.
Very, very
at
possible.
bantamweight for
Yeah,
the
at
champ
bantamweight,
title.
Yeah, because Shevchenko's also got nobody left, but she's cleared out the whole division. already.
Shevchenko Nunes 3, I like.
Yeah.
Because
It's a good fight.
she gave her a close fight.
It's a good fight.
Yeah.
Definitely a good fight.
Yeah.
But who they got there? They got Jermaine Durandamy and Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd's fighting. She's got a fight lined up. I can't remember against who.
Okay, so this is 3 and 5.
I'll be honest, I'm terrible with the ladies divisions.
Yeah.
No,
I
Aspen
can't remember
Ladd's-
that because they actually go up and down quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like, and
Aspen
Holly
Ladd
Holmes fought
definitely has
for
a
the
fight.
bantamweight
45,
title
yeah.
and for the featherweight title.
Definitely.
Let me
So-
see what I can find here quickly.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Wait, what
let's hear
weight
some
division? What weight division was Rousey at? Bantamweight.
Bantamweight.
135, yeah. Yeah.
Shame.
Boy,
Rest in peace.
let's hear your predictions there, Rourke.
I'm going with Holly Holm.
Yeah, me too.
I think
Holly
she might
Holm.
be my favorite ladies fighter.
Unanimous.
Okay.
Warren's going with Raquel.
Aspen Ladd will fight Juliana Pena.
Okay.
All right.
I think Juliana Pena's got a USADA problem.
Ryan, I think
doesn't
you're right.
she?
I think they threw all of the monies at Conor McGregor and Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, I'm not massively impressed with this card.
No.
I'm not waking up
kinda
early for the main card.
Yeah, it's weird that, and also the Pettis is at the bottom. He's like this, arguably the third biggest star.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this
but
card.
you see, they do that to open up the main card with like an exciting fight.
Okay,
So
fair
they obviously got your main bull, and then they'll use like what they deem a super exciting fight to open the main card
Okay,
kind of
that's
thing,
fair.
and get the juices flowing kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, this is. I mean, I've spent the last 10 days speaking about this fight, to be honest, but it's a couple of things. I mean, everyone's asking about the 170 pound decision. I think Conor's response to that was kind of he doesn't want to cut weight. That's what he weighs right now. You know, he wants to fight 3 times this year. He's calling it his season or whatever it is. So he doesn't want to drain his body. I think it's a good decision, to be honest. I think it's the right move. Also, realistically, Cowboy was never a massive
No.
welterweight. He was a fucking
He
good
had a
welterweight, but he was
streak.
never, yeah. He
Well, he
wasn't
fucking
huge
murked,
physically.
he
though.
murked Matt Brown, which is
Yeah.
impressive, and he beat Rick Story at welterweight, which is
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. dismantled both of those dudes like something
Yeah,
fierce.
and there was someone else he beat that was really good at welterweight. But yeah, I agree. He was always undersized.
Yeah, he wasn't the biggest dude. So
But Mike Perry was a good win as well.
and
Shows
Mike
you what
Perry's a beast.
Mike
bro.
Perry's
He's
a lot
huge
fucking
guy.
bigger and a
Yeah.
lot stronger than Conor.
So look,
so,
dude.
so if he gets you, if he takes Conor's back or anything, we know it's already done. But yeah,
And I think therein lies what everyone wants to see. Are we going to see, like people keep saying, are we going to see a cowboy that's maybe going to adopt a little bit more wrestling, use a little bit more clinch work, try and get
Yeah.
Conor tired, maybe get him to the ground? The thing is, Cowboy throughout his career, he's been relentlessly himself. You know what I mean? And that's never a wrestling strategy has never really been part of it. It's like just that thing in his back pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
He'll
don't
do like
think-
that weird like ankle pick or that knee pick like that. Sometimes he uses it just to fuck with you. Sometimes he uses it to take you down.
I don't think Conor lands that left in the first round. I think this whole camp, even the way the coach was saying he's only got the left hand in the first round, they're going to be so covered. I don't think Cowboy throws that right hand a single time in the first 3 rounds. It's kind of, like when people fight Canelo and they get into that thing, like you saw it with Kovalev, like he won't throw that right.
Yeah.
Because he knows if he
Scared
throws
of the
that right,
counter,
you're getting
yeah.
fucking counted every time. It's not like most times, it's like almost every time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that. Anyone who throws that right hand's getting slept in the first 2 rounds. So I don't think he throws that right. I think he's like using his jab, lots of body kicks, and trying to stay on the outside and then maybe tie him up in the clinch. Couple elbows over the top. I mean,
Clinch is definitely, I'm sure that's going to be part of his plan.
yeah.
But John, man, look, the external stuff, I think it's love or hate Conor McGregor. The sport needs him, you know what I mean? The sport always feels so much more
Yeah.
exciting when he's around. You know what I'm saying? Like
Dude, if Cerrone wins this, it's the end of an era, really.
I was gonna say, do
'Cause
you think Cerrone wins this will be done? for
I
Conor?
think
I think
his
he's done after
stock
this,
goes
yeah.
down so much, dude. If he loses this, he's fucked.
Well, he
Who,
makes enough
who,
money from it to
Cowboy?
walk
Yeah.
away forever.
Cowboy.
No, I think if Conor loses, it's the end of the
Oh,
era.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
people almost were like, "Oh, Khabib's got his number, so give him that loss." Like even me,
Yeah, he was expected to lose there.
he was kind of expected to lose, but like this, if he loses this, that stock's going down a lot.
This is the weird thing about Conor's position because he's kind of like, you know, what got him to where he was fighting, and he was good at it, and the talk and everything else. But then you start losing and things start happening outside of the cage. And everyone's like, nobody really gives a fuck. And this is what we were kind of saying, is that all of a sudden, like Conor McGregor's fighting in the past, it was like whispers in the street. You know what I mean? There was just everybody was just talking about Conor McGregor. That sort of excitement level in Fight Week is not quite there yet. There's a press conference tomorrow.
I think
which
it's
is really going to kick things up. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
just feel like he's actually lost quite a bit of steam. Like people are quite over him. You know what I mean? Like fuck, bro. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to win. You know, when you start winning, we'll start listening. So, like you say, if he loses, I don't know where Conor.
If he
what
loses,
happens from here,
yeah.
dude.
I hope Cerrone fucking like if you watch like Hernandez, he had that beautiful head kick knockout, and he always warms his hips up like in the 3rd round, and he just like leans a little bit and what?
Yeah,
And that story knockout as well. That
Yeah.
thing was
Yeah.
world
yeah, dude,
class.
Yeah.
that combo, bro.
But I also think Conor's camp's trained to
Jab.
keep
What is it?
high.
Right hand to the body.
Yeah, keep high and just not get caught with that head kick early. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm not writing Cowboy off.
No.
It will be kind of sad both ways. Because if Conor loses the end of the era and if Cerrone
Yeah.
loses, this is his biggest moment of a fucking great career.
See,
It's been a
I don't. Yeah, I think Cerrone losing. Like,
Cerrone losing actually
I don't
doesn't
think
even
he-
affect his stock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't, bro.
But if he loses, he's going to get slapped hard. And like, how
Yeah.
many more knockouts can that dude have? I mean,
I think he's done after
Gaethje-
this. Eh? I think he rides
Yeah.
off into the sunset.
I
yeah.
hope so.
I think
Because
he does.
Gaethje starched him.
Yeah.
I mean, his
Yeah.
orbital was fucked off that Ferguson fight. Like, he's been in a lot of wars, dude.
I think this might be potentially Conor's most winnable fight in the top 5. And if he doesn't,
not potentially 100% the most winnable fight. Out of the killer's row that's left after this,
Yeah.
this is 100. Look, he'll
Yeah,
and you know what?
agree
I've
with
been listening to a lot of what Conor's been saying, what Cowboy's been saying, like in the build-ups. One of the cool things I was listening to Conor talk about him and why Cowboy, and he was saying things like, you know, it's always kind of been on the cards. They've kind of like zigzagged and then missed each other, then zigzags, and because you know he was supposed to originally be the replacement ahead of Diaz. So if Diaz never took the fight, it would have been Donald Cerrone. So it's always been on the verge, you know what I'm saying? And when you look at that and you look at the guys, Tony Ferguson, Khabib rematch, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, dude, like it's horrible for Conor there. You know what I mean? With all due respect to someone like Donald, it's definitely the more winnable fight for him.
Yeah.
It's definitely the slightly easier road. That being said, bro, like I said, I was saying to you guys now, a lot of outside perspectives are going to be like, oh, you know, either they'll never have heard of fucking Donald, or they've seen like his list of achievements and like, fuck, Conor's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that a 100% Conor McGregor always beats 100% Donald Cerrone. I just think he's just a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm a massive fan of Cowboy, dude. Cowboy is one of the dudes that actually, like, in the modern era, that really made me rethink about MMA and like really understand how fucking crazy some of these dudes are. You know what I mean? I remember watching him going on a tear when he was fighting. Like, he fought like 4 fights in a month or something like that, or 3 fights in a month. He was fucking absolute animal, dude. Absolute animal. You know what I mean? So look, he gets paid here, dude, and I think that's the most important factor.
Apparently, his payday is $2 million upfront, and Conor is 5.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But Conor's talking about making like
off endorsements,
80
but just,
million, I
just
think,
flat
or
out. That's good fees.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm fucking excited. Working off Conor, on the Alvarez performance, and just that fucking unbelievable. Like every time you move, you're just getting countered. You can't even see it coming. It's just so accurate. I think he probably wins. But I fucking hope that Donald head kicks the fuck out of him and rides off yeehaw into the sunset. What a
couple of Budweisers in the bag, boy. On my way.
Custom
for
Donald
sure,
Cerrone.
dude,
It would be a great fucking story, my God.
Dude, it would be
because
so awesome.
even if Conor does get through this guy, his next likely potential opponent would be Dustin. I don't think Dustin.
No, they're talking shit about the Khabib rematch instantly.
Straight away. And then he's gonna lose that. I'd rather have Donald Cerrone win. And
Do you think so? Do you think Poirier beats him in the rematch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Poirier with a different amount of power, bro, he's a whole nother beast there.
Yeah. He's a big dude, eh?
Yes,
he's a
he's
big
massive.
dude at 155.
I don't know if that looks going back to 155.
Do you think so?
I don't think so. I
Can
don't
you
think he's
believe
going to
they
get
fought
there.
at featherweight?
Bro, you could see, like, as Oaks mature. One thing I wanted to say about Cerrone, and I think, like, analysts that are fucking way smarter than I am will always talk about him dealing with pressure and being a slow starter and having trouble with southpaws in the past, which has been the narrative from these kind of guys like your Dominic Cruzes and all of these kind of dudes. This is what they talk about. Another thing about Cerrone is I feel like as he's getting older, he's starting to realize that he's taken quite a bit of damage, and it subconsciously almost makes him. If you watch when he's got almost like that sort of Muay Thai style as he's coming forward with his hands, like a very like hop, like kind of Muay Thai kind of thing. When guys start fainting, he has a tendency to like reach out with his hands, like a defensive reach, and often he'll go with both hands, especially if he's taking something that he doesn't like. Because he also, people forget about Cowboy is that he doesn't take a shot to the body too well. He struggled with that in the past. Conor's 100% going to throw that front kick up the middle to the body. And that's going to bring his hands down. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the key to how he finds the left hand. He's going to come out with that early. He's going to throw quite a couple of body kicks. I
also think Conor's going to use that front leg side kick.
Yeah.
That front leg side kick that fucking Whitaker was using against Romero.
But bear in mind that front
kind
six,
of
that like oblique kick and that front leg side kick comes from Jackson Wink. Those were the originators. Who mastered it. Cowboy's seen that sort of stuff, he's been part of that camp. So I think but you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of factors involved here. It's not a, like the casual fans are going to see Conor McGregor, that guy fucking going to steamroll this old dude and be the fuck out of there. It's not that simple. There's a lot of interesting questions to be answered in this fight. And I think it's a fucking great fight, man.
Also, weird shit can happen, man. Conor can knock him over. They can end up in the guard. He's fucking amazing off his back. He's
insane. He's insane. Which is also going to make McGregor hesitant on the ground. You know what I mean? He's going to know that. He's no punk.
There's quite the height difference, eh?
Yeah.
When last did Conor fight?
How tall is Cerrone?
183.
Jesus.
Yeah, but Conor's got a long reach, eh? Check it. Go to
74 versus...
how's that possible? He's just so fucking long.
Conor, it's just like the way his shoulders are quite wide and he pyramids in.
Conor's got a longer reach, eh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His reach is super long.
It's nuts.
Does it show leg reach on there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Leg reach would be interesting.
Conor, like, you know what's really interesting? Like, if you watch the Dennis
check on the
Siver
UFC
fights,
website, doesn't it have those things anymore?
Do you remember that fight, the Dennis Silva fight?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was like
Yeah.
on the outside the
Here we
whole
go.
time, and he was doing these crazy spinning attacks to come in,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
covering distance, like almost Wonder Boy style. I love that fucking style of Conor.
Yeah,
Like,
no, for sure.
I want to see that.
That's
I
go
think-
go back up, bro. You went past it. I just want to see the leg reach. There we go. 40 inches and 40.5. Okay, very similar. Eh? So like, Cowboys is like very tall and quite like narrow. See, Conor's got like that a lot wider shoulders, which makes his reach a lot longer. That's some bro science for you right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it makes sense to me, doggy.
5'9" and 6'1". Big height difference, eh?
Huge fucking underdog Cowboy, eh?
Yeah. What have they got him? Does it show the odds here?
It's ridiculous odds.
I think Connor's at like a, I don't know, in America, I heard someone say today like a plus 300 favorite.
I'm
I don't know what
almost
that really
definitely gonna predict Conor and then bet on Cerrone.
Yeah. Myself. That seems like good logic.
Check Connor's
Yeah.
takedown. He's got a 0.7 takedown average. Takedown accuracy. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Yo,
What's that?
shout out to this
Takedown
new
defense.
UFC website.
Submission average is 0. Imagine Conor just comes out and like fucking leg locks him, bro.
Never. Never.
He's training with the beast, bro. Dylan Dennis, though.
Well,
Hey, Dennis is leg locking X to fucking death in Bellator. I mean, fuck.
Exactly.
I'm telling you,
Imagine just a change of plans, bro.
and then Don's out there in case one of these guys drop out.
Fuck, that'd be
Not in an
crazy,
official capacity, but
But
that'd be
who
cool.
who is the official stand-in?
It's
Is there
actually
a-
Pettis.
Is
Yeah.
it Pettis?
So
It's
if something
really-
goes wrong, yeah, they pull Pettis up the card, yeah. That's
Okay.
what happens.
Then they put Don against that other, the Brazilian.
Maybe. Or he just gets
Maybe.
paid and calls it a day.
Well,
That's
there was
nuts.
that. There was
Oh,
that.
yeah, they're paying him to train.
No, he's on the card. They're both on the card. So they'll just pull him up and they would just
But
pay Ferreira
oh.
and just tell him sorry, bro.
I'll tell you what, Pettis versus McGregor would be a cracker.
Actually, as I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's a good
this,
fight.
that's probably why Pettis is facing someone like Diego Ferreira. He's actually just kind of there as a backup, like he's expected to win that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably what it's all about, to be honest.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, there was that situation. Do you remember with actually TJ versus Joe Soto? So Joe Soto, it was supposed to be TJ versus Bahar 2,
Yeah,
and Bahar slipped and hit his head in the bath while cutting weight.
I've heard that one before.
So Soto was making his UFC debut and his bantamweight debut. He was the Tai Chi Palace featherweight champion, and there was literally no one. So they were like, he had just made weight for his bantamweight UFC debut, and they're like, listen, we want to fight TJ on less than 24 hours notice, and he did.
Huh.
TJ knocked him out in the 5th round.
Funny how you know that, eh, boy?
Jeez, TJ Dillashaw, mega fan in the building. I like it, man. No, he's underrated.
He should fight Conor.
Yeah, dude. So, okay, well, I guess it's predictions then. Start
Yeah.
with you, Mr. Murgatroyd.
Okay. As I said, I'm actually going to go. I think that Cowboy's been doing this for a long time. I'm obviously aware of all the mechanics and McGregor could come sleep in and blah, blah, blah. I think Cowboy knows it's his last fight. Either way, possibly. Biggest fight of his career, biggest moment.
Yeah,
Most winningest
sure.
fighter ever in the history of the UFC. He fucking slept Hernandez. There's a lot of reasons to think that a magic event, a portal could open somewhere in the universe. And Cerrone could head kick Conor's fucking Irish leprechaun head off and then ride off into the sunset. And I have to believe in that world as a fan of both men, but I have to. So I'm going to go with Cerrone, my money and my prediction. And
Ooh.
yeah, let's see.
Oh, I like it a lot. I like
Okay.
it a lot. I'm going to go with Conor McGregor on this one.
Oh, L.
But I do have this, like, I've got this, like,
The strange
I've
feeling.
had this tickle. Every time someone asks me, I'm like, I feel like Cowboy can really
think
fuck shit up.
Every man's man, that would be a great moment throughout the universe if Cowboy just pulled it off, because it's such a beautiful
I see him,
working
but
class story.
everyone's talking about the head kick. I see him finding a clinch and like a good fucking tire plum and a solid knee up the middle. I see something crazy like
something
that.
like that
happening,
could
dude.
happen. Yeah.
That's what I see. But look, I think Conor will get it
I
done.
see him take
Yeah.
it. It depends. Does Cerrone come into this fight to try and make it a show and win? Like,
Dude, you can't think about him like a Cowboy's gonna come do what fucking Cowboy does, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
it.
Or is he coming to make it a show? In which case, I think he's got a higher chance of losing. If he was smart, he'd take this guy down.
But
Yeah.
okay, we say that, dude. Go and rewatch Conor versus Khabib. He defends the first 3 takedowns, dude. You know what I'm saying? If Khabib is not taking you down in the beginning, and if everyone is right and they're saying Conor's best round is the first round, and you're going to try adopt a wrestling tactic from the word go, it's not a fucking easy task, bro.
Yeah.
It's a hard go. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is,
it's a fucking hard
he
go.
can catch you coming in so many ways in that first. He's so accurate in the first round, and like to level change and try to come in and take him down. He'll catch you coming in.
I honestly, I think Conor will land the left hand. I don't think it'll be early.
Yeah.
I hope it's not early because
Not
I
in the
want to see.
first. Not in
I
the
want to
first.
see. I want to see these guys go a few rounds. I want to see a 2-round battle maybe where it's back and forth. Both guys are kind of having like good moments, and like a third and fourth maybe. I think somewhere in the second, third, I see Conor getting it done. I see a TKO though. I think he'll stop Donald. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you know,
Well, hey, for $2 million, 20 million rand, no, 18 million rand. Hey, who wouldn't get knocked the fuck out by Conor?
bro,
McGregor
there's
fight?
no money in the world getting me in the cage with fucking Conor McGregor. Not with my skill set, boy. Yeah,
Sure.
fuck. So, what's your prediction, boy? We still
I'm
haven't
gonna
heard.
go with Conor McGregor.
But you're just fucking trying to convince us otherwise.
I know, but every time I always do this thing where I'm like, oh, you'll never win, and then he does win.
Where do you think Warren would go?
Donald Cerrone.
Also think like just last point, like the Conor, like the essence has changed, man. I think there is a corruption there, you know. Like you see, like in those early, man, there's like another level of hunger. There's another level of, and now you could just see all those sweaty photos. He's found cocaine, and he definitely found pussy. And yeah, not to put any wild accusations out there, but I mean, come on, bro. Like that guy's being faithful. Like,
So,
and that's why when they're like sexually assaulting, I don't think Conor needs to sexually assault. I think he's literally drowning in so much pussy. I think he's got problems all over the world, all kinds of problems that normal men like us can't even imagine. You can't even imagine the fucking psychology of those kinds. You know,
for
So
sure.
It's crazy.
I think, yeah, but I think
think-
we've seen the return of like a humbled guy. You know what I mean? Who's everyone says that, and I do get it. My only counter argument is that Conor doesn't have to fight, bro. He doesn't have to fight another day in his life.
You're right about that.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he's come back and he's been quiet and he's been quite honest and he's opened up to quite a few things, I think he's here because he wants to be, because he's a competitor at heart, and he knows this is what got him to the dance. So
Yeah.
I hear that. I think it's got to be hard when you're Conor McGregor to motivate yourself to go back and do something like that. And I think he's smart enough, and his team is smart enough to say, look, you're not all in, bro. You know what I mean? The last time you arrived not all in was against Khabib, and look how that fucking turned out. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you were saying he hasn't drunk anything in like 4 months.
Okay.
yeah, well, you know, we have to take his word for it.
If that's his biggest deal now, I remember before when you remember that Notorious documentary when he was
Yeah.
on like food stamps and having to
Yeah.
drive like an hour. to
Dude,
sleeping in his
I
car.
think the flame's lit, bro. I think one of the biggest motivations for him now is to try and get that Khabib rematch back. I think that's what he really wants, to be honest. I think he knows he could have put on a better showing, because I think there were parts of that fight where he looked fucking brilliant. There's obviously an animosity there that like it's given it more competition. In that situation where two guys hate each other so
Can
much.
we just have a moment for that fucking tweet where he just had it was Khabib's wedding, and he just tweeted, "Mate, your wife is a towel."
Yeah.
that was cocaine Conor at his fucking grandest moment,
It's
bro.
like, Conor, Jesus, bro.
Jesus, that was intense. Yeah, that physically made me like recoil. But
Yeah, it was
fucking
pretty
hilarious.
intense, eh?
It was really funny though.
And yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he's actually come out and he said, "Look, some of the things with Khabib went a little bit far. Like, maybe you should have mentioned that one, Conor, and maybe apologized. You know, like that one was a
Mate,
little bit
your
crazy.
wife is a towel. It's because it's so short. It's so punchy.
Well, Cerrone was threatening him the other day, saying like, "Don't you dare insult my family on this press conference, because if you do, I'm gonna fight you in the lobby of the hotel."
You most definitely don't want to try that with Donald Cerrone, bro. You think that you see his Harleys, bro? You think there's not a couple of rifles hanging back there, dude? Guy's mad, man. Have you heard the story about him where Dana White had to like bail him out of jail with like $100,000, dude? There was a lot of guys that had pulled guns on people. There was some mad shit going down. It's quite a cool story.
He's a proper gangster.
No, he's a
You
mad
hear
man.
there was that, I think he was on the Joe Rogan podcast talking about his diving as well.
Yeah.
Like into
He
cave
was-
diving.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
madman, bro. He's a
It's
madman.
fucking nuts.
Anyways, fellas, We've got our predictions, our thoughts.
That was real, guys. I fucking really enjoyed
Fantastic.
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you
but
for
We
your
just,
make this a regular thing.
yeah, I really dug that. And if it so happens that my boy Cerrone does pull off the greatest upset, let it be known that I stated on the internet that this would happen.
And we will make videos eating
Yeah.
humble pie.
I'm gonna go and put a little bit of money. I mean, even if you are picking McGregor, I think.
Let's have a look. Actually, let's see.
Yeah, what are the odds in Zate Africa?
Let's see.
This podcast is brought to you by Bet Exchange.
Is it?
Well, what was that? What was that crazy amount last time? It was like I think if you put $100 on all of the
On the
underdogs.
underdogs.
Because
They
who was
would
it?
never
Who was
let
it? Who
that-
late replacement? Who was that late replacement?
9mm.
9 mil. So 9 mil came in and he was like some ridiculous underdog.
A 1 to 650
Yeah.
million.
So if you put $100 on all the underdogs in the car, you could walk away with 31 million rand.
Wow.
But they would never allow that bet to be processed.
Of course I would. This is
Keith Ho would tell you straight up, not a chance, mate. What are you gonna do? You're gonna pick the
I
main
just want to
card.
see. I just want to see what this.
Bro,
thing-
MMA
this
odds are
thing you
so
for sure get
crazy.
lost. Okay. Wouldn't even look at the prelims.
Mm. Oh, shout out to there's a Nigerian on that card, Super Sadiq, bro.
No, really.
Yeah, he's fighting. He's got a
Jesus.
good
Ooh,
fight actually.
Fucking.
Cerrone's a proper underdog.
What has Keith Ho got him at?
2.2.
2.2. What?
Yeah. It's a good odds.
But you know what I heard is that someone was saying that the bookies do this to lure you into bet, and then like you'll see as the fight week gets closer, they'll even out the odds.
Yeah, I think they'll even out a bit. That's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, 2.2 seems
That's fucking nuts, guys. I'll be watching it live. You guys watching
fantastic.
it live? I'm awake.
I think I'm going to wake up just for the last
I'm
fight
gonna
after
roll
looking at this.
206 joints and make 4 bacon sandwiches. The fucking anaconda's coming out. It's gonna be an epic morning.
it's going to be
like
fantastic.
Christmas.
There's a silly rumor going around that Supersport's not showing this card. That is an
Oh,
absolute
they are.
lie. Yeah,
Okay,
they
lovely.
are.
But who the
211, 5 a.m.
Who has DSTV? Fuck.
Yeah. Well,
Well, it's
I
not,
think I'll
it's,
be-
it's not actually about who has DSTV. It's who has a DSTV now login.
Yeah,
I'll be
exactly.
closing Russian
Exactly,
porn
exactly.
pop-up sites like fucking every 13
VPN. But
VPN. Fuck, it's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be. You just have to find like someone's uncle's got a premium
someone,
DSTV.
bro,
Okay.
someone. Don't hit me
Fine.
up. I don't have a login. I've used all of mine.
Okay. Well,
Fantastic.
thanks,
Fellas,
guys.
thanks for
I
the time,
enjoyed
Mr.
that.
Mugtrud.
you,
Thanks
sir.
for joining us.
Great
Rock.
having you. Thanks, dude.
Earliest I
Shout
think you've
guys.
ever been
That was fun.
on time.
Lovely.
Shout out to Warren King. See you later. Peace.
Peace.